Hi guys, it's Queen. Let's jump right into this video.
Hi, kings and queens. Thanks so much for joining me for yet another episode of Queen's Crown. I'm your host, Queen, and we are jumping right into this video. So today I have a mask day video for you. I'm going to show you how I mix up not only a mask for my hair, but also a scalp treatment, because I like to keep the different components of my head separated so that I can attend to different needs that each one has. So I've come up with 5 different components, and they are my scalp, my edges, my breakage or my crown, my hair, and then my ends. So I like to treat each component of my head differently, or tend to it differently, so it gets the proper TLC that it needs, because hair doesn't necessarily need the same things that your scalp needs. And then of course your edges are more delicate, so they need special attention. Same thing with your ends, they need special attention. And the most attention goes to the breakage. If you do have that scalp or the crown breakage like I do, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's itchy, it's irritated all the time, and it just does not grow. Then when it grows, it breaks off. So I'm trying to battle that and tackle that. But in the meantime, in between time, until I get it inches and edges, okay, until I get it down my back, I'm going to keep tending to it the way that it needs to be tended to. So I'm going to get in with the ingredients for my mask day.
Okay, so I have a variety pack of onions, yellow, white, and red. And today for my scalp treatment, I'm using red. I like using the onion as a scalp treatment because, of course, it's rich in sulfur, which is known to minimize breakage and thinning, but also it helps blood circulation, and that's another way to contribute to hair growth. And I also found out that it fights dandruff and it prevents lice from being able to inhabit your scalp. So that's good. So I'm adding these 2 essential oils to my scalp treatment. The peppermint oil is added to stimulate growth, and the tea tree oil is in fact an essential oil, and it will be added as my antifungal. For my scalp treatment, I will need my mixing bowl, a cotton ball, a cheese grater, and a stocking cap. You'll see what I use that for. So I put the stocking cap over the bowl. That way, when I grate the onion into the bowl, the stocking cap will catch it and I can squeeze the juice out without having to run it through my strainer. Here, I'm just checking to see which is the rough side of the cheese grater. And I am going right in and grating my onion. And I realized afterwards that I probably should have sped this part up because it really is just me grating this onion. I'm trying to find like good sides to keep grating it on so that I can get as much of the meat of the onion without kind of running it down to the middle part, that kind of like white and green part. So I'm trying to get the edges as much as I possibly can. And I'm figuring out ways to like hold it so I can grasp it really, really well. See, it slips out my hand a few times. But yeah, I realized afterwards that I should have sped this part up. So sorry, guys. So I will add a few more onion facts in here. So sulfur, I went over. Onions have potent antibacterial properties and they help fight infections on the scalp. So that's really good, especially for me, for my breakage area. And it can also reverse the effects of premature graying. Oh, so I didn't know that. That's nice. Onions also add shine to the hair. So there you go. So here's all of my pulp that I was able to grate down into my little stocking cap here. And I'm just going to squeeze out the juice. And you'll see my technique is kind of to twist the stocking cap around as much as I can and pull at the bottom. Keep twisting and pulling. That way I can try to extract as much of the juice out of all of that pulp as I can. So That's my little technique to try to get as much of that juice out of there. And of course, this part I could have sped up for you guys too. Don't worry, I will get better with my editing soon. I'm going to add some hot water to my onion juice. I really don't have a measurement on it. I just poured a bit in there. And here I'm going in with my tea tree oil. Again, no measurements. I kind of just eyeball this because I've been doing it for so long. I kind of know how much I need, I guess, for my scalp. And my peppermint oil. This is for hair growth stimulation, not at all to mask the smell of the onion. Just giving it a quick stir, getting everything all mixed up. And I am ready. This is my scalp treatment, the onion, tea tree oil, peppermint mixture. Here I have my mixing bowl, my mixing spoon, and my measuring spoon. So I have my natural ingredients here, my pumpkin puree. It's very high in zinc and that helps to maintain collagen. I have my coconut milk, which helps to prevent hair fall. So here's the rundown on my favorite Moringa powder. The iron in Moringa brings oxygen to the roots. The zinc in Moringa stimulates hair growth. The essential amino acids in Moringa build healthy hair strands. Vitamin C and E in Moringa fight oxidative stress. And the omega-3s in Moringa nourish hair. So many reasons to love Moringa powder. Now I know that coconut oil gets a bad rap, but I still like to use it in most of my hair masks because it helps to prevent high growth fatigue. And that's when the cuticles on your hair shaft are constantly opening and closing, when the amount of moisture is constantly changing in your hair. The conditioner base that I'm using for my hair mask is Hello Hydration by Herbal Essences. I love Hello Hydration. So I'm starting out with 3 tablespoons of my pumpkin puree, adding 3 tablespoons of the coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of the moringa powder, 3 tablespoons of coconut milk, which ended up being a little bit more than 1/8 of a cup. I added a decent sized squeeze of my Hello Hydration conditioner. I figured that was about 2 to 3 tablespoons worth. And here is what it looks like when it's all mixed up.
Okay, so I've sectioned off my hair and I have this one little section out so you guys can see how I do my onion scalp treatment and then the mix that I have for my hair. Yeah, mix all that up. And that's going to be my conditioning and kind of growth serum, growth powder mix. So I'm going right in with this section here, and I'm hoping that you guys can see. I picked this section because here is where my hair sort of changes textures, I think. So the top is, I really don't know how to describe it. I feel that the curls are more defined from the bottom down than they are here at the top. So this is like straighter to me, frizzier, drier, I'm not sure. But I just wanted for you guys to get a sneak peek.
So here's an angle from my second camera. I wanted to try to give you guys a close-up so you can see the hair texture and how it's different from kind of like the middle to the bottom, kind of like bouncy, springy curls, very defined. And then the top seems very dry and just a different curl pattern. So I'm going right in with my MSM water. I just take my MSM crystals, I crush them in my mortar, and I add some water to it. Spray it right into my hair to get my hair moisturized and ready for the mask. Rubbing it into my scalp there. And down the hair shaft. Kind of squishing it into the hair. Alright, so here again I have my sort of, trying to get that apart. I have my my sort of close-up angle that I'm trying to do so you guys can see a little better what I'm doing. Just using the cotton ball to soak up that onion treatment and dab it onto my scalp. just trying to make sure I get as much of it on my scalp as I can. And you'll see that I go around the perimeter of that section that I have there to make sure I can get the onion treatment into as many areas as possible. The goal is to saturate my scalp with this onion treatment. Go around, get the edges, that's really important. And yeah. And now that I have the scalp treatment on, I'm going right in with the hair mask. And I have my little technique of putting the hair mask at the very root, then putting hair mask in the middle, and then saturating the ends. That's kind of my technique with everything. Whether it's the hair mask or whatever else I'm putting into my hair, I like to make sure I get the top, the middle, and the bottom of my hair shaft. So just going in and adding my mask little bit by little bit. You can see I do my kind of top, middle, and bottom technique. And I'm noticing that my ends look a bit frizzy, so I'm gonna need to tackle that soon. I don't know why they look so frizzy. I just got my hair cut. Yeah, but I'm just putting the product in and it looks good. So that looks nice and saturated. Just gonna add a little bit more to the edges or wherever I see that I don't have any product, it looks a little dry. And I will go right in and twist all of this up. I don't know if you guys noticed my face right there, but I am tender-headed. I felt a little pain with that twist, so. So now that that's all twisted up, I'll just clip that piece up and move right along to my next section. I realized after that this is the other angle of me twisting my hair up into that clip, but I don't mind showing you guys my amateur editing skills. More MSM water for my next section. I have gotten really good at eyeballing how much I need for scalp treatments, mask treatments, because you can see I use all of my product every time. So that is the end of my mask day. I just put a plastic baggie on my twisted up hair, and then I put a microfiber towel on top of that to kind of trap in the heat. These are just pictures of me being goofy. But the only thing I do after that is rinse my hair and I add a leave-in conditioner and I twist it right back up. I didn't think that that was anything important enough to put at the end of this video. But that is the end of my mask day. Thanks so much for joining me for yet another episode of Queen's Crown. I'm your host, Queen, and I'm signing out, guys. P.S. Yes, your hair will stink like onions for about a week. Sorry, but it'll grow. Just because I know I was not able to get all of the onion pulp out of my stocking cap earlier, I'm going to take the remainder and put it into this little plastic bottle. I will add a little hot water to it, just enough to cover that little bulb at the bottom. And I'll put that in the fridge to steep for maybe a few days, maybe a week, and I will use it for my next treatment. It probably won't be as potent as the one I whipped up today, but at least I'm not wasting the extras. So, just a little tip